in the draft.
Hell yes!
For game number 1. I think they took a while to set up, maybe setting up some cables and stuff, or I don't know. But right now, this is the game 1 of one of the most awaited matchups. If you are like an MDL fan, we're finally gonna see one of our teams, one of the teams that we watch in MDL, come into play in MPL.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we'll be seeing TNC reserve their jungler or the jungler trade for later, or if they're going to immediately prioritize that, given that we've seen their options yesterday. They still have the possibility of the Suyu Joy trade in the bans that are going on for now, but if they do not want to go for that, I mean, the Harith Granger possibility is still available as well for them.
Yep.
0 jungle bans, by the way.
Yeah.
For TNC.
They're keeping the jungler option wide open. Yeah, that's them trying to force some trades. AB BREN can change things up and ban out one jungler, and they do go ahead and ban out the Fanny. So yeah, with what Brigida mentioned, with the trades are active with the Suyo, the Joy. Don't forget TNC does have a Matilda Alpha option with them as well. One pick that James Banks is known to shine with is also the Hayabusa. But with the Harith open, TNC might consider first picking the Harith instead of the typical Suyo Joy.
Oh, all right. Let's see. I mean, I don't think they'll be able to pull off the Matilda again. AP BREN took it out earlier.
Right,
That's mad respect after what happened yesterday. So will they be going for the Harith instead, or will they be still picking up the Suyo? Those are the possibilities, unless...
That's right. The Harith first pick did work out for TLPH earlier today. But they go for Suyo. They don't think too much. They don't think too much about it. Suyo is definitely an all-rounder on the jungle so far today.
Yeah. I wonder if AP BREN will consider rush picking the Cho. We saw it used earlier by the Team Falcons. But if they want to make sure that Yaoi doesn't have a comfort and that AP BREN will be able to protect James Banks' jungle while providing info, a rush Cho pick would be good. They can get it alongside the Granger. Or they can also, get the Harith. Harith and Suyo together, terrible climb to go up against. So a Cho Harith would make sense if ever.
Yeah, and I don't think they'd be considering the Granger just yet without knowing the matchup, but instead... Okay, so I think even the Filipino broadcast is surprised with these 2 picks that came from AP BREN. So it's a Joy and the Phobius. I don't know if I could like assume the possibility that it isn't a jungle Joy or not.
Why do you think they would be surprised by the Phobius first pick though, or first rotation pick though, Renmar?
The Phobius I'm okay with. CC is still on the board, and that's usually just the trade you're going to go for there. But the Joy is what surprises me, because they actually didn't need to go ahead and pick up a jungler yet.
Yeah.
You already see the Suyo. They could have gone for Joy 3rd pick or Joy 4th if ever they were feeling like, oh, we could get Joy in the 4th pick. TNC, will it be either a Harith or a Granger? One of those two for them. It is a Harith, but they go ahead and pick up the Badang. Great pickup.
Could this be a Yaoi Badang?
I mean, that's a good possibility, right? One of our friends, Ingan, loves to play that Badang in the jungle. I'm sorry, in the roam, and he gets away with it. You can also flex it on the XP, which is always a great plus for any team that picks it early on.
Considering how Lord JM played yesterday, I'd like to see him actually pick that up in the EXP and then have another roamer with them. But lately we've seen teams internationally default into a roam Badang. But let's see, there's still room for changing things up there. So AP BREN has a good damage profile right now. They have a mix of very light magic, but mostly physical in the Phobius, strong physical poke with the Granger, and damage, strong burst magic, but it's a little bit divey from the Joy. I'd like to see them pick up more crowd control in their mid. I'd want to see them consider Aurora later on, or the Vexana.
Or the Eve, right? Eve would probably do well here.
And I mean, whichever mid laner TNC decides to pick up, he'll be very cautious of the Joy and the amount of like dive or poke, even ranged poke that could come in from AP BREN. So it's nice that they were able to eliminate another threat, another surprise setup from the Cho. Because I mean, at this point, you're not entirely sure as to what the mid duos are going to be. So it could be either really aggressive mid duos that could be a huge threat for your mid laners later on.
That's right. It's either very aggressive or you could kind of reel it back with the Auroras of the game, you know, and the Vexanas maybe.
What if we see the Jawheads again? Like more
yeah.
setups, just immediately bursting down in quick rotations. That I think they'll benefit either of these two teams.
Yeah, I think AP BREN are considering a Jawhead, considering that they took out the Tigreal and the Cho. Jawhead could work out for them very well.
Any really good, what do you call that, pesky roamer
Unless the
would
Khalid.
be safe without the Tigreal and the Cho, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Khalid could also do well. Won't get kicked around, explosion to death, right?
Yeah, if ever they're gonna pick up a Khalid, then I want to see them pick it up last. Just get their mid laner first. Ooh, they take away the Novaria.
Spicy.
Whoa.
Which is odd because I would love to see Lancey back on the Novaria.
Oh, but
Yeah.
the Selena.
Yeah, but he's already. You're right. You're right.
Maybe. I mean, well, there's a lot of possibilities left, but for mid laners, I think they're really limited right now. It's either Vexana or Aurora, as previously mentioned. But
Hylos.
Oh.
They go for all reliable here.
Yeah,
I like it.
I was thinking about it, but I didn't wanna see it.
but like, where's the crowd control for AP BREN, right?
Just the Hylos, essentially.
It's just a high loss right now. So the Jawhead goes into TNC instead.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was like,
Oh,
come on, you take out the Cho with the Tigreal, the Jawhead would be very happy.
That's
Come on.
like there's little to no hold from
Yeah.
AP BREN at this point.
Yeah, so it's really just Vexana or Aurora at this
Yes.
point. If you don't get crowd control on you, that's not going to do well. Considering you have a strong magic burst, the Joy would be okay. Again, either of those two mages are going to be fine. For Lancey, he can just take one of the other, and he decides to take the Vexana.
And I think we kind of know where this is going.
Is it gonna really be the Aurora?
Sounds like an Aurora insta-lock here for me.
But that'll feel like a
Selena!
okay. They don't. Okay.
Okay.
We get it in as early as game 1.
All right, we're looking at
Oh.
the crowd control. Who
Man.
best to do it with the Selena? Except it's only single target.
We're back to the Season 8 meta of just like trading Selena and Jawhead.
Oh my goodness.
Good times though. Those are some fun times. Very
Yeah.
chaotic.
And well, at least with this pick, I don't feel like they'd be entirely passive in terms of gameplay, or they shouldn't be,
Yeah.
because if not, it could be a hit or miss.
Woo! We're having a lot of fun here. Hopefully you guys also join in on the fun. Don't forget to buy tickets for tomorrow as well. That's Omega versus Falcons and TLPH versus Twisted Minds. I'm sure TLPH picked up a few fans
Ooh.
with their victory earlier on, so don't miss out on the action. Go to ph.mpl.com. Get those tickets now.
Yeah, the Filipino Sniper was on point. And so, following that previous showing from Series 1, I definitely am watching out for our gold laners. They're the last people, the
Legends.
last faces we saw. Kozen, as well as Shizu. Okay, this is it.
Here we go. How effective is that Selena going to be here in game number 1?
Well, very fast take there by the Jawhead and the Suyo. Of course, that's the benefit that you can get. Instead of actually leashing the other buff, Yaoi's helping Zyda just clear out his side of the jungle faster. Usually you'd see a Jawhead and Suyo pair up to make sure that once the Suyo gets to the purple buff, it's already low, and yeah, he could just go ahead and move on with his rotation. But interesting to see how AP BREN will handle having the Selena, Hylos, Joy roam trio, who are all predominantly magic damage.
There goes the Abyssal Arrow immediately as early as less than a minute into the game. But Yaoi still with the ejector flicker will be able to commit onto there, but it seems like he will be the one to fall. That's the first blood drawn by AP BREN.
A very good maneuver here by Chokescurt. I think he baited someone to get thrown. That's not him. I forgot who that was. And it worked very well for them. I think it was Kekadon. He got thrown back by the Jawhead ejector.
Just when we thought Yaoi was about to run away.
Yeah. In terms of the emblems, nothing too fancy or rupture on the Selena. And yeah, the typical bargain hunter and the Inspire for the Harith. So, very conservative right now after that initial salvo for the Little Wanderer. I think Yaoi will have to think twice about being aggressive with the Jawhead. I like the tough boots rush onto Kekedot. There is a lot of crowd control that he has to deal with against TNC. So far, the Joy, Selena, and the Hylos are the ones setting the tempo.
Yeah, it kind of feels like AP BREN and their river control might be a little limited in terms of like, because they have to manage the wave clear or put a little more effort into managing the wave clear with the Selena here. But let's see how this goes.
Speaking of effort, look at that. Good
Alright.
zone.
Oh wow! The Eternal Guard immediately used alongside the ejector. Kekedot might just be bursted down, and he will. He will be the first to fall, but who will be able to secure the turtle? Lancy gets the last hit on it instead. Will they still go after AP BREN? It seems like no, not unless they seem to be playing a little more careful, but Yawi won't let go of the vision, and he still goes for it. Unstoppable Force onto James Banks, and he will be able to take him out alongside Zaida. There might be another casualty for them. This is too much aggression coming in from TNC.
And TNC Pro Team, Lord JM doing it again. Perfect. Set up with the wall and the knockback as well to disrupt James Banks. Although I believe it was the Eternal Guardian that actually got the last hit on that turtle with a swipe. Because I was looking, it wasn't the Cursed Blast. The hit of the Cursed Blast landed after the turtle was taken down. So yeah, that's the first turtle for the EG of Vexana.
Wow, okay.
It's for Vexana, not for the jungler.
It worked out very well. It's also like, I think it's percent HP damage, so that's why it was pretty good in securing that. And overall, James Banks was given a lot of pressure in that last engagement. He's basically being forced to, in the Filipino term, he's being forced not to play here by TNC for some reason.
They don't want to see the million moves in action. They're limiting so much of James Banks and his movements, and it seems like the farming patterns are more efficient for TNC this time around, but there's another successful ejector play coming from Yawi, but he will be the first to be taken out. Kekedot will follow as well, but James Banks, will he survive? Oh no, there's a flicker from Gozen, and he still makes it. And here comes Zaida as well, taking out Top Skirt. There's a flicker from him, but he won't be able to survive. They're still jumping in, will be able to take the trade onto Gozen, but there's a Terrify, there's a flicker as well, and this might just be the disengage, unless Zaida still wants to go for it. Evil Queller, he won't be able to continue anymore.
TNC Pro Team now. So what you see is AP BREN realizing that, you know what? If Kekedot's going to be putting himself in some danger and maybe get picked off, we got to be ready to respond. You know, if anything happens, if Yawi decides to flicker in, toss him back, we got to be ready.
Oh, is this another toss? Another one. Oh my goodness, he didn't even need to do anything aside from the Evil Queller.
It felt so easy. Every time that Unstoppable Force is off cooldown, it feels like Yawi can just take it non-stop. But at the trade here, it is AP BREN with that turtle.
Yeah, say what you will, Yawi on a jawhead, literal throwback.
I cannot imagine how annoyed AP BREN are right now with the constant ejectors, even onto the tankiest members, even onto the front lines. It feels like TNC, they're just that confident because they have enough damage to deal with those tanky frontliners.
Yeah. You're even happy to commit a flicker just to be able to throw someone. That's Yawi for you.
Yep. Good old pick-off style, run and gun, all speed play style that Yawi showed and excelled with to make sure he would win a world championship. Thunderbelt already there on the Badang quite early. Glowing Wand for the Vexana. It's a Talisman for the Selena. Just the two gold laners, only up to one item each. Hunter Strike on the Granger and the Starlium Scythe on the Harith.
Yeah, and it seems like they're typical War Axe first, but will that be the best way to go? Since TNC is really aggressive at this point, and they might not be able to sustain much of the team fights if ever TNC keeps going at it with this pacing.
The threat of doing that over and over again is your enemy kind of just gets wary. He gets used to your movements. Like every time you flare up, they just know you're going to go in. So I wonder if that's going to come into effect here in this game.
TNC now committing a 4-1 split, sending James Banks topside while Zaida's doing the same, managing the far lane for TNC Pro Team. And AP BREN have wisened up and adjusted to Yawi's aggressive posturing as they now try to make sure that Kekedot has some help nearby, and Chovskirt is actually getting helped out by Dare in the mid lane to clear it out faster, but up top, James Banks!
Oh, they're gonna trap him here under the turret, and even under the turret, take him out! Zaida's now unstoppable, and they meet, the junglers meet in the top lane!
So it seems like they are doing exactly what we thought they were. They're stopping James Banks from even going into the map.
Even getting the trades!
Yeah, Zaida showing off his experience. Oh, yeah, we get stunned!
Oh, will he be taken taken out here. Will the damage be enough? That's another ejector onto Kekedot and the Zaman Force. The damage is there, but the Glorious Pathway might be able to allow him to escape. But there's Respo from Lord JM as well as Lancy with a flicker. They are being so confident right now.
Absolutely good response there from their opposing side here. And don't forget, top lane's also getting pushed in. All that gold going over to Zyda as well. 5-0 and free right now on the Suyo.
Yeah, he's really showing off his experience as an MPL champion, a two-time, well, a back-to-back MPL champion, and finals MVP as well in Season 2. So Zyda really just showing why before James Banks got here, he got here first.
Oh. And they're literally not allowing him to even farm.
That's right.
I couldn't be exactly sure as to how much gold difference is currently existing between these two junglers, but even just in terms of levels, looking at it, that's a 2-level gap immediately. Yawi, will he go for another ejector play? James Pangs is already here, using the electrifying beats onto Yawi, and there goes the beautiful Deathly Grasp alongside the Eternal Guard. Kekedot will try to run away, Kozin takes out there, but there's the Conceal, and they might just be able to escape, but there will not be able to live.
TNC Pro Team, the lineup that they brought up here, up against a team making their debut in the MPL. Of course, yes, Kekedot and Dare are coming back to the MPL, but they are a debuting team. They show up with a lineup that are just smothering you. We know what Jawhead brings to the table, paired up with his physical defense Shred with a Suyo. We know what Suyo does. We know how well just Harith can be annoying to deal with if you don't get to shut him down early. So that's what they decided to draft against AP BREN. Smother them.
Will the damage be enough this time, though? Those are 2 Abyssal Arrows consecutively hitting Yawi, but he still has the flicker, and that's a beautiful counter engage coming in from Lord JM! And now Kekedot as well will be a double kill for Kozan!
How do you play if you're if AP BREN here? It's so hard to actually even move out of the map, and even when you think you're gonna get the kill, you get denied.
And another denial as well for James Banks himself. This first Lord might just really go into the hands of TNC. I mean, even recalling what happened earlier, it seemed like the perfect moment for AP BREN to go in. Yawi was so low, the flicker was forced out. But how could you not anticipate that counter-attack coming in from Lord JM?
Yeah, they got baited into that. The fist break paired up with Eternal Guardian. Lord JM and Lancy were just watching. AP BREN said go, Lord JM said no, and Lancy said y'all are gonna get blown up. What a counter by TNC.
In basketball terms, that is called deny.
Yes.
It's a huge block.
Yes, it
right?
is.
It's just no going around it. That was a good response from Lord JM this time around.
It's like, you know, when LeBron James is a really good block, you go, blocked by James. I said, blocked by JM.
Lord J, is he Lord J?
Why do I want to say that later?
Maybe later.
Maybe if it happens again.
If it happens again.
But hopefully for AP BREN, it doesn't. Holy Shields are about to pop right now since there's a minion in the middle lane. And they still have a Lord marching up top.
I really got to say, Lord James or Lancy, if they win this, either of them have to be the MVP. Let's see if he can do it again.
Up front.
Wait, the Abyssal Arrow connects onto Kozan, but they still won't go for it. Yawi kind of low. Oh, they just need one more hit. And then might be a successful defense from AP BREN. They eliminated the threat of another ejector play from Yawi.
Nice sidestep as well from Lancy, being very aware. But then, that's AP BREN basically denying the attack as well. No Lord push happening today. Yeah,
TNC Pro Team has Balloon. This is like old school Echo Express playstyle that we're seeing with Yawi on the Jawhead again with a throwback. Oracle, second item for the Badang, rushing the cooldown reduction. Great itemization. Same as well here for Zyda, knowing he got the Snowball, already got the BOD, and the Blood Wings for the Vexana. Still waiting on the items, or the second item of the Selena. Gonna be a while.
Whoa.
Dominance Eyes only for that high loss.
They're still on second item for their mid laner.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's just
nasty.
how difficult the situation is for AP BREN, whereas their junglers are like 4K apart.
Yeah, and James Banks is struggling to get any farm, any XP whatsoever.
I mean, I'm not going to say it could have been better, but I wish I was an Aurora. You're up against literal phoenixes. How do you put out fire? Use some ice.
No.
That's logic.
Yeah, I'm just using basic common sense right now.
Less the ice does melt, and then
But,
you're
and again,
it's slippery, bro.
yeah, you would have. It would have been so great right now if they had the frigid glacier as
Yes.
the counter engage
Agreed.
to the eventual entry of Lord JM. Imagine if Lord JM's there, it's like, ha, I get to fist break you. If that was an Aurora, suddenly, wait, why is there ice forming underneath my feet? He gets frozen. The counter engage of TNC is a little bit tougher. Yaoi might not be able to escape. It's going to be harder for Kozin as
Yeah.
well.
That's true. And maybe some of these Granger shots will sink in even more.
Yes.
Even easier to hit the shots.
Yeah, I mean, all the range that AB BREN has right now, they couldn't really maximize it to its full potential. TNC just keeps closing the gap. So even when you want to like poke them from afar, even for just a moment, that doesn't really happen anymore. TNC just keeps going for it, but could something happen here for AB BREN? Oh, maybe not for them because TNC will be the one to start the fight once more. There is down for them and they're in full control of the Lord Pit. Kekedot, will he be able to find a way for his teammates to go in? That's
Gonna
another
try.
angled arrow from Chop Skirt. Yaoi is quite low and now they know that there is no ejector. Oh, Yaoi gets taken out by the Lord. James Pax finds a way in, but it's too late. Zaida already secures the Lord. Kozen takes down Kekedot. James Pax dashes out of that fist crack, but Zaida's still chasing for him. But the Lord immediately spawns too.
Okay, Zaida's not letting James Pax go home. He wants to
Chase
chase
it.
down the joy!
Just when you thought you were out, you get pulled back in.
What an angle! He anticipated that dash coming in from James Pax and Shizu. A solo kill from Kozen. He's not waiting for the Lord anymore. He's just dancing with the Zaman Force alongside the Eternal Guards as well. Chop Skirt's the only one left, and there's only so much he can do. TNC take game number 1.
With Raging Fire pushing out AP BREN 1-0 for TNC. That was phenomenal.